The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, hello and welcome to the new channel. Born out of passion, we are a community that helps you be the new you. I'm Dr. Michelle Mras, streaming live from the beautiful mountains of Colorado in the United States. You're watching Mental Shift. Well, hello to the United States and to the Philippines. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I always mess that up. Well, anyways, tonight my guest is a Magic Mompreneur. She's a really good friend of mine. She's CEO of Inspiring Lives International, the executive director of the Global Sisterhood, which helps women and children around the world. She's the editor-in-chief of Inspiring Lives magazine. She's a former tenured university doctoral professor. She's host of Empowering Women Radio and Inspiring Lives with Dr. Shellie on NBC. She has keynoted internationally, has written 14 international best-selling books. She can sing her heart out, and she's a buddy of mine. She is my sister from another mister. Please welcome Dr. Shellie Hipsky.
Thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be back on here on Mental Shift on TNC with you, Michelle. I just love you. I have no words for how close we are and how we've just made history and magic happen for women empowerment around the world together. And now we get to be on the show together again. Yay!
And we get to promote your book, Mompreneur.
Oh, yes, we do. I'm so excited about this. Oh, it's been a whirlwind. We've been doing so much promotion. I've been on multiple television shows today alone and podcasts. And we had this incredible Mom Magic book bash where there was book bashes in Phoenix and in Texas, and we've got authors in Australia. It's just been amazing. Just all these women coming together for the purpose of expressing their mom magic and being the best mompreneur and the best moms they can be.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch that go, and it'll keep going because you'll keep promoting and keep going. And we have more states and more countries to go to with Mompreneur Magic, right? And so that's why I wanted you to come on, because it is on right now. And if you are watching, you need to go find that book and buy it on Amazon so they get the bestseller thing going on.
Absolutely. Well, we've already hit international bestseller in 30 categories, and we've done it in 5 countries. But we're really going towards the New York Times bestseller list is really our goal and what we're promoting towards this week in particular. So that, that's a huge, lofty goal, but that's where we live, right, Michelle? We live in these big goal spaces, manifesting our dreams and making our missions happen for the women of the world.
Now, how many mommies are in that book?
17 moms. 17 mompreneurs, and we're from all over the world. And we've just been making the magic happen in our own homes. My chapter in particular goes into mom guilt. I think you probably have experienced a little mom guilt in your day. Am I correct, Michelle?
Just
At
a
some
bit.
point? Yeah, just a little bit. Well, most mothers have, and particularly mothers that are businesswomen. They have issues with just that nagging feeling like, am I there enough for them? Is this situation going to ruin them for the rest of their life? And they have these concerns that really weigh on their hearts. And now that I have teenagers, I've got a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, I was able to look back at all those moments in my life where I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be bad for them? Is this going to, weigh on their hearts forever? And I flipped the perspective. I did like a mental shift, like we talk about on this show. And my mental shift was that all of those things that I had, that nagging mommy guilt for all those years, were the exact same experiences that brought my children to be so resilient, to be so strong, to be independent, to know how to do it for themselves instead of leaning in constantly on someone else. So those mom guilt moments became that mommy magic wand, so to speak, to cast that resiliency spell on my children.
I love it. Yeah. Because as working moms, it's like, oh, am I working too much, or am I away from them too much? What if that person is mistreating them and they're alone with them and they can't tell me? I mean, all of those things that were going through my head when my kids were younger. And now to know that, they're resilient and they're tough little cookies. It's nice to know. But that's why I'm excited about your book being out, because there are a lot of moms out there who need to hear that.
Yeah, there really are. And there's so many wonderful messages in it. Messages of, everything from dealing with grief to dealing with overwhelm to dealing with change, making those pivots, and celebrating motherhood. Celebrating the fact that, we birth these babies into the world, or sometimes they're adopted children, but however they got to be our children, they created us into mommies and we created them, and just beautiful things come out of that. And I have always said, if you help a woman, you're helping the family, and you're helping a community, and then you're helping the world. Well, the same can be said particularly for women that are working and out there and making that magic happen with their children, leading their businesses and their homes at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Women power.
Yeah. Well, because when we were younger and we had our children and they were younger, it was like, I had so much drive. I mean, you were a professor, for goodness sakes. I mean,
Yes.
But so much drive. And it's like, okay, I want to do this, and I kept looking back. I mean, most of my master's degree, I carried my kids with me.
Yeah,
I had one in a carrier and one coloring next to me so I can go to school, because I wanted more. And then people would tease me and they do, why are you doing that? I mean, your kids are more important than you going to school. And I'm like, but I want to be an example. I want to go to school, and, they don't have to, but this is what I need. I mean, I remember as a young mother explaining to people why I wanted what I wanted, and getting chastised and belittled for wanting what I wanted.
Yes.
You remember all that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with me being a professor, people were very concerned me leaving a tenured professor position that I fought tooth and nail to get at 30 years old. I mean, I was very young to get a tenured professorship, and like they sort of I got some pushback. I mean, here was this young woman, and they were like, but I had all of the credentials lined up to get tenure. And then I got it. And very soon after that was when I started my business started taking off, and people were like, you're crazy if you're going to leave a tenured professorship to do this entrepreneur stuff. And it just didn't seem stable to them. But when I look back on it now, being an entrepreneur has provided myself with so many wonderful opportunities to be with my children, to be able to be there for every single play that my daughter's in and everything that my son needs me for. And I can make my own schedule. And my son will be like, I'll say, oh no, honey, I gotta take, he's like, Mom, you're the boss. And that puts it in perspective for me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I am the boss. And I set it up like this so that I can say to my assistant, please take this off my plate. I can say to my tech guy, I need you to do this. And I can say to my son, you know what? Every Monday, which we've been doing every Monday for a long time, we go to our favorite hibachi restaurant and we sit and we have the most amazing conversations. And for me, as a mom of a teenage boy who's also on the autism spectrum, those conversational moments, they're so precious, Michelle. They're so vital. It's so important. And I remember back years ago, before we did Ichiban, now we do, which is our hibachi place here.
Okay. I was like, huh?
Before we did the hibachi, we always had something that I did with Jake on Monday nights because he needed that. He needed that moment. And he was the first person to put that on my Google Calendar. He took my phone one day.
Smart kid.
And he typed in, Mom plays with Jacob. And then he hit repeat. So every Monday night, that's where I'm at. I'm with my boy, whether we were playing together or we were going, to the local apple orchard or whatever we were doing together. He knew that he could book that time on my calendar. And it's so funny. It's such a working mom kind of thing, but it's good for a kid at that age to know, okay, if I'm on that calendar, I'm in. And then they know how to do that for themselves when they grow up. They aren't constantly scrambling to get organized. They're like, oh yeah, I was on Mom's calendar on Monday nights, so I'm going to need to go to this business meeting, or I'm going to need to go do this appointment. I'm going to do this interview for a job, and they're going to have that on that calendar. They're going to know how to do that. For a kid gosh, he must have been like 7 years old when he started scheduling himself in my calendar.
I'd say I think my 9-year-old was doing that. She would organize the house on who was cleaning what and what was being done and who got to cook. We had cooking schedules and who cooked, and my kids cooked. It was kind of a deal, but that's what we do. They learned
yes,
orderliness and timeliness and scheduling. I love it.
Absolutely.
I felt guilty for many, many, many years about, oh my gosh, I didn't make dinner tonight. And my daughter would be, it's okay, Mom, I got it. It's like,
but what a gift for you, but what a gift for her, Michelle, because you were teaching her to be independent so that she doesn't have to depend on anyone else. And she knows how to do that. And she has, value in those tasks because it wasn't always done for her. I mean, so many moms, I have her too a little bit, because, I care about my kids and I worry about my kids.
Yes.
But there has to be that balance. And you and I have talked so many times about balance, particularly in women's lives. Yep.
Yes, we have. But no, that's the magic of being a mom. And I wanted to be in that book, but I ran out of time.
I know, it's okay.
It's okay. But the thing is that's the magic of being a mom. It's that give and take, that business mom that learned how to mold all that and keep going. But I think the entrepreneur mom has it made because like you said, you've gone to every one of your daughter's plays.
Absolutely.
I would always say, okay, after Friday, the next 5 days are ours. Yes. And just turn everything off. And they do. Cool. Problem is now that they're in their mid-20s, they're like, hey, I still have to go to work. And that is why Mom's an entrepreneur. I mean, really, because they see the difference.
Yes.
They see I would say, okay, now we're together. Everything's off. Phones are off, blah, blah, blah. My husband would take off. And now they're in their mid-20s. And they're like, well, I had to schedule 2 months out. And now I can't get the time. And so that's where they see the difference now. They're like, how can we do what you're doing?
Absolutely. And you know, two of my books I've written on being a woman entrepreneur. I've got the ball gowns to yoga pants, and I've got now the Mom Magic Mompreneur, and both of them show you how. They show you how by looking at different examples. I with ball gowns to yoga pants, I really went into, you know, how they did it in multiple different top companies and Fortune 500 companies to small businesses, but also, you know, just how to plan it all out. And with Mom Magic Mompreneur, those stories, this one, you're gonna need this one. This is an important one so that you can really dig into those stories, set aside the mom guilt, set aside the overwhelm, and really learn to celebrate yourself, because moms aren't they amazing, Michelle?
They are. And now here's the other thing about it. If you have someone in your life who wants to be a mom, who is thinking about being a mom, or one day will be a mom, this is not a book just for moms. It's for people
Yes.
who moms experience everything. Okay, we are
Yes.
the cradle of civilization. Our moms, and we are, yes, we are the makers and takers, the givers, and that's what we do. And from the mom's perspective, we see the boys and the girls in our lives. We see the children in our lives, and we balance all of that and we shape them. So
Yes.
if you have any person in your life who is going to raise a child,
Mm-hmm.
this is a book for them. And that's
It
what
is.
it's called, Mompreneur, but it's anyone who's taking care of a child.
Yes. Anyone who's taking care of a child, anyone that's running a business, anyone that's living life in this existence. And we all need those stories. And for particularly for moms, it's those short chapters, so that, like, if you have to, like, lock yourself in the closet for like 5 minutes to get away from the kids with your little snack so they can't get it from you. I remember those days. I definitely remember those days. So if you need to do that, you can sit down and you can have that mentor right here, you know, one of these amazing mompreneur ladies, to help guide your way, help you to know that you're not alone in this journey. And that's really what it's about, is you're not alone. You're worthy. You're enough. You can do this. You have the abilities, and other women have been there. So that's why they need Mom Magic
Mom Magic.
Mompreneur.
Now,
A little bit of Mom Magic.
Where can they find Mom Magic?
They can find it anywhere the books are sold, but right now I would love for them to go to Amazon.com or Barnes and Noble, because that is where we are going to really be making a positive difference in this New York Times bestseller campaign. Ooh, I get goosebumps every time I say it.
Okay, woo woo. Okay, do it.
Woo woo. Absolutely.
Well, and what I wanted to share with that also is that, the mompreneur. Well, what you just said about moms, and that you're not alone. There's other women out there who've done it. That's what you engage with the sisterhood. I mean, that's what
Yes.
we talk about already. And what you're doing is, in the sisterhood, it's everybody, all women around the world, everybody.
Yes.
This book is on moms, but eventually you're going to be a mom for someone.
Or you could be a dog mom, or you could be,
Yeah.
you know, like a mom for a foster child, or you could be, you know, that kid that's down the street that the mom is not able to do for that child, and you can take them, you know, it all depends on where your mindset is with it. And there's so many people out there that just need these uplifting stories and a little bit more inspiration, a little bit more empowerment. You mentioned the Global Sisterhood, and you know, that's something that we have shared together, the Global Sisterhood, and Empower You Masterclass, which is my signature course. And the women that have gone through both, you know, the Global Sisterhood is a nonprofit, a 501c3 charity here in the United States that helps women around the globe, starting with entrepreneurs. One of our major missions is in the Tanzania area in Africa, and we have a whole college for entrepreneurs there. And we have done amazing things with everything from getting them sewing machines so that they can make incredible fashions, to computers, to entrepreneurial information, how to be an entrepreneur. And then we have also helped them do deals with people in the United States so that they can get those fashions sold here in the United States. That's just one of the many charity partnerships that we have. That's through KVDPA. Kemi runs that one. I love them. We have been in touch since way back when I had my television show on NBC, Inspiring Lives with Dr. Shellie, and that is one of the many charity partnerships. But there's just so many women out there around the world that just need that little hand up. They just need that little boost, that little maybe funding or connected with that right person. And that's what the Global Sisterhood has been able to do for years.
Yes. And I wanted to make sure that came out of you.
Thank you.
It's what you do. You naturally are, you give, you empower, you turn on switches in people so that they see the best of them or the possibilities of what can be. And why I wanted to share that is because, Dr. Shellie, what you do, it's not, you teach them how to fish. You don't just hand out fish. And I'm trying to find an elegant way of saying that, but that's the only way I can think of it.
I love it.
Them a skill that can keep growing. And I've seen that. I've seen people on the calls where, oh, I did this and now I'm doing this. And that light that comes on in their eyes of, I did this, is the most beautiful thing to witness. And
yeah, it is
all the time, but it was a beautiful thing to witness.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Well, having you be one of my Empower You alumni and having you be one of my world-class VIPs was just such an honor to me. You're a great coach. We all know coaches need coaches, but when we started working together, I was so impressed by you, Michelle. Your heart, your soul, your speaking ability, you're world class. I mean, you really, really are.
I sing.
Oh yeah, we both sing, don't we, huh?
We had to bring that in. I had to shove that in.
Yeah. So tell them about New York. Let's flip the tables. We're coming live with Michelle Mras. She's going to tell us about
Inspiring Lives Trio in New York.
The Inspiring Lives Trio in New York. Tell your show about the Inspiring Lives Trio and what happened there.
Well, what's really funny about that is I was afraid of New York. And I have to tell you this whole story. Dr. Shellie already knows it. I stayed at the hotel that no one else was at. I made an error. So I'm in a different hotel than everybody else. And I had to go into New York by myself. I was terrified.
Which for me wasn't a big deal, but there's a story there. For
me, it was terrifying because my backstory is many of you know who watch me. I was a captive rape victim in my senior year of college, and the boy who did that was from New York. So in my mindset, my lock in my brain was men from New York, boys from New York. Any boy, male from New York was bad. And I got in to get to her, to get to Dr. Shellie. I got in an Uber. No, I got in a cab, not an Uber. I got in a cab with a man with a New York accent and went all the way into New York City alone. Huge. Absolutely huge.
It was huge for you. It was amazing.
He dropped me off in the middle of an intersection, told me, get out, it's somewhere over there. And I got out and called Dr. Shellie, and she says, okay, I'm at the corner of this. I don't know where I am. I'm wearing a red dress. I still don't know where you are. She basically echolocationed me to where she was. And then
in my 6-inch stiletto heels.
And she saved me. And I did not tell anyone how traumatic that was for me, because part of me was very proud that I got in that cab in the first place and made it into downtown New York. And then the other part of me was like, will I have a meltdown later? But I didn't.
You didn't.
So one of the things that I'm very proud of, I tend to challenge myself when there's something I'm afraid of or a challenge. I really literally put myself right in front of it and do it.
You did it.
And that was one of the things I had been avoiding pretty much all my life. And here I was, I did it. And it was beautiful. And then the next part of it is no one knew what we were going to do together. And Dr. Shellie was speaking at this event, and she says, and I've got 2 guest speakers that they thought we were coming up to share our story. That's it. And what happened is she brought us up. We sang and
was
then
amazing.
our story. It was phenomenal. And
It
if you
was
ever
so
want to see the
incredible.
video, I think it's somewhere in my Facebook page, but you might want to tag that again. It was so cool.
It
And
was awesome, and we wove the stories and the songs in together, and it was so New York, and we got to belt out Broadway songs that
and
were
your
in New York
pianist,
City. Oh, my pianist! Oh, Jeffrey Kubata, I love him. I've been working with him for years, and he has played on Broadway many years. And just to be able to go into a Broadway studio performance and rehearsal studio together, Natasha and Michelle and I, and we became the Inspiring Lives trio, and it's, the rest is history. So we've had many adventures, haven't we, Michelle?
yes. We don't have enough time for all of those, but we really have, and it's been so much fun. And honestly, I still tell you my favorite one. Well, there's two favorites. One, when we were in that gigantic penthouse house thing in New York
At the Pierre Hotel, beautiful.
with breakfast as she was getting her makeup done, and but honestly, still to this day, out of all of our adventures, was having a glass of wine, watching a Disney Lion King over the
Over the pool.
balcony, over a pool, and eating my caramel apple.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That was so awesome because it was so different than any other world-class VIPs that ever turned out. It was very individualized, and it was good.
It was
We
good.
really got to know each other and what your mission was, and wow, are you ever carrying it out?
Yeah,
Make me so proud.
we got to meditate together. I mean,
We
it was
did.
it was very cool. And what I wanted to share with the audience is Dr. Shellie and I are big and loud,
Oh, yes, we are.
but the things that we do that are very ritualistic. We always work out in some way,
Yes.
shape, or form. We always meditate, and we know how to laugh.
Oh, yes, we do.
We
We
do.
do.
We know how to enjoy
We
ourselves.
do. We can tell a story like nobody's business. Absolutely. No, I've loved really having those moments, whether we're on a stage or whether we're singing together or we're speaking on the same stage or we're just lifting each other up. It's such a beautiful thing to, I mean, just like be friends with Michelle Mras. I mean, she's the best. That's your soundbite, Michelle.
Quick, somebody clip that. Clip it out. I need it everywhere. No, but that's really what it is. Just to be with you it was magical. I mean, when we had Sally Ware with us, and we got dinner and ate in the lobby of a movie theater because we couldn't find a restaurant. And so when people look at us, they're like, wow, those are some really classy ladies. And we're like sitting there eating in the lobby of a movie theater because we just couldn't find a place to eat. So there's play big, work big, but know a happy medium, and when you can laugh at the things that are happening around you. Life is not
Absolutely.
as serious as a lot of people take it. We enjoy ourselves. We do live big, but we laugh and we enjoy every moment of it. And even in the stressing times like surgeries and the things that we go through, it's like, hey, I'm tired.
Yeah. But you need that friend, or a coach or whoever,
Anybody, mentor, someone who can guide you through.
someone you can lean on, and they get you.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that sometimes it's difficult with a mentor I have so many mentor-mentee relationships,
Mhm.
but it's sometimes hard to find somebody that's playing on the same level, particularly with business people, those type of things, and also keeps family first and those type of things. So when you find that person, or you find that tribe of mompreneurs, or you find that sisterhood, hold on to them, and love on them and cherish those friendships. I mean, it's especially in this day and age, I think that it's very rare to be able to find that person. Even with all the technology we have to connect each other, I think that it's such a beautiful thing when you do that. And we're both connectors. Malcolm Gladwell wrote Tipping Point, and he goes into all these different types of people. And you and I, we're connectors. Like, we love to connect other people. So lean in also to those connectors, because they're going to figure out who you are, what you're about, what you're, maybe you have a gap in what you in your learning, or what you want to do with your life, and they know that person to help fill in that gap for you. So they could know that person, your person, and connect those dots for you. And that's a beautiful thing too when that happens.
It is. And we are going to go to commercial for a minute. And then when we come back, I want to talk about how we met at Angel Tussie's event and how other things happened. Okay. And then we'll come back around. Okay.
I
So
love it.
if you're watching right now and I see you, I know you are, share this with a woman you love, because mompreneurs, mom magic, girl power, that kind of thing. Mom magic, Amazon right now. So we'll be right back after these commercials. Well, thank you for watching Mental Shift. Now, did you share this with someone you care about, a friend, a family member? Because tonight's show is all about mom magic, mompreneurs, with my friend, Dr. Shellie Hipsky. Now, did you know that TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go? Please watch all of our shows as seen on the screen. And now imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Continue to watch Mental Shift Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. Philippines. You can also watch replays via Facebook or YouTube. Please follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search hashtag TNC now. For sponsorships, please email now, NOW, at thenewchannel.com or send a direct message to The New Channel. Now, enjoy these life-changing shows because we made them just for you. And welcome back. My name is Dr. Michelle Mras, and you are watching Mental Shift. And what I wanted to share with you tonight is one, my friend Dr. Shellie is somewhere backstage. She's run off, but she'll be right back. And that no matter where you are in life, if you're a mom, you are a mom or not a mom. If you've given birth or if you've adopted, if you're a dog mom, if you're a cat mom, mom is a term of someone who cares for someone else, in my mind and in that book, Mompreneurs. And so what I wanted to share with you is when you hear that word mom, don't say, well, I'm not a mom. There's someone you are caring for. It could be a sibling. It could be your own parent who's aging. But the thing is with that mom magic, what it's about is someone who has their own life, their busy life, and cares for another person, another human, another animal, another living creature. But that giving and being able to give that love and care for someone outside of themselves is mom magic. So, how many of you are actually caring to someone else, something, someone, an entity of any sort? You are. May it be, I wouldn't even say a bedrock, but no, it's when you're giving your attention and time to someone else. I've met many men who could be called moms because they're caring for someone else, caregivers. There are a lot of men in my world who are now caregiving for their spouse who've been injured or their parent who are aging. So mompreneur, if you're working and you're doing this thing called caring for someone else, that's where the magic is. That's the mompreneur. Got it? So what I wanted to share with you tonight is that, and I asked for Dr. Shellie to come on because she has the book called Mom Magic. You can look it up on Amazon. They are shooting for getting on the Amazon bestseller list. And what I wanted to share again was, you remember before we went on break, I told Dr. Shellie I wanted to mention about Angel Tussey. Angel Tussey is a media specialist, and she does a lot of my news releases. And if you see anything, if you Google my name, there's a lot of news releases. It's been done by Angel Tussey. Well, the reason I wanted to mention Angel is because she is what really brought me and Dr. Shellie together. Dr. Shellie and I met, but it wasn't until Angel had her event in Orlando, and I said I was going, and Dr. Shellie said, "You're going? Well, I'll go too, and we'll hang out." So let me welcome back Dr. Shellie, and we'll share that story of how we bonded in Orlando because of a lady named Angel Tussey. Where are you, Dr. Shellie?
I'm right here, and angels must have made this happen. Angel Tussey, you're talking Angel Tussey. I love her. She was really a catalyst for us coming together and our friendship and our coaching each other kind of vibe. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience doing the whole media mastery course together, and then doing some amazing media events, and then we were on stages together. But we met before then.
Yeah, we did.
We met when you won the ultimate speaker competition.
Yes, but bonded at Angel's event. because
True.
yes, because we both went there, both didn't know why we were going, and we were bad students.
We were, well, yeah, we're kind of those kids in the back of the room that are talking all the time and, kind of have their own agenda.
Yeah, I kept taking phone calls and leaving. Well, actually, I was having like major crisis at work, basically in my business. So I was like fixing things, and she's the most patient woman.
She is.
Yeah, and she just let us do what we had to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I love Angel, and
I
I've
do
been
too.
watching her for years. I mean, I watched her before I even knew I was going to be a speaker. I think I met her. She was kind of she's a big deal here in Denver. A lot of us knew her because she had a radio show, and she was so darn cute. Anyways, everyone remembered what she looked like. And then I met her at one of my first MC jobs when I came back from India. But when we met at her event, we bonded over pina coladas, actually, but we bonded, and then that's where we had our candy apple red wine bonbon night while we
We
watched Lion
did.
King. And I want to thank Angel Tussey for making that magic happen, because
Yes.
if we had not come back together in a space where we weren't full of people all over the place and everyone's talking, this was a place where we actually could be alone and quiet and talk.
Yeah.
And that doesn't normally happen in our worlds. Normally we are
Mm-mm.
flooded with people and there's no way out. That's why I wanted to thank her. She made an event that brought us together, and Sally brought us all together to talk in a different way.
Yes, absolutely. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to have that connection. And I agree. There are so many different connectors in our lives that are taking these stories and taking these people and putting them together. You did that with the Hold My Crown movement. We're doing that with the Mom Magic Entrepreneur movement. There are multiple movements around the globe that are happening because of the stories, because of the connectors. And very often, I gotta admit, it's because of the women that are thinking, oh, this person needs to meet that person.
We're connectors.
Absolutely.
We're connectors. And that's the power of, oh, I don't know, power of being open to what is coming in the world and
Yes.
manifesting what we want. I mean, we see a group of women who get together and help each other instead of stabbing each other in the back.
Yes.
We've wanted it, we've created it, we've walked into it by making it.
Yes. 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 It's collaboration instead of competition. And that
Yeah.
is such a beautiful way to live and to think and to function inside a society wherein, particularly with women, like we can be a little catty, right? So sometimes that can happen. Sometimes we can say, well, why can't I be that person doing that? But now that we know each other and you really get to know that person, it's like, oh my gosh, she can teach me how.
Do it
Why
together.
don't, or we can do it together. We can lift as we climb and we can do it together. So that is so beautiful when
Well,
that happens.
Well, and that's why I wanted to mention Angel, because talking to you and Angel that day when we missed our mud thing or whatever. We missed something. It was like
We
the
had a
police
spa
cars-
day planned.
Yeah, we had a spa day and police were blocking off the road. So we ended up sitting around and talking. And in that talking, Angel's like, well, why don't you do your own event? And I said, well, I'm not ready to do my own event. I haven't done it. I haven't thought about it. Just, you should probably do it. Well, I did my speaker boot camp, my speaker camp, and I'm doing another one in January. And it's
Awesome.
my unapologetic speaker camp, because what I do is I'm a trainer. I train speakers. I build messaging, and I do something different from everybody else. And so I called Angel and said, hey, it was your idea. Are you coming? And she said, yes, I'll be there. So January 25th through 28th, she's gonna come in one of those days and share the magic of what she did for me with my media releases and things like that.
Awesome.
But on the 28th is a live audience recording of Mental Shift.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. I
With all
love
my
that.
VIPs are going to be recorded. So what I've done is I merged So maybe Angel brought us to the media mastery,
Mhm.
and we did our show and everything.
Yes,
And
yes.
doing it with my boot camp. So doing the messaging and then bringing them onto my show,
Perfect.
their makeup and everything. So they're going to do what we did.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And speaking of, picking up the phone and just saying, can you be there and will you be there? Remember Arizona? What happened there? That was with WOIII, which is the
Crystal.
Women of Impact and Innovation International, on which I sit on the executive board. And tell them a little about that. This is becoming like back and forth. Who's the interviewer? Who?
I know. They stop that. But Crystal Richardson is
Yes.
the lead of that. And Dr. Shellie says, you should come. All innocent, like, you should come. So I think I'm just there as some spectator, and they're giving out awards, and I'm like looking the other way, and she starts talking, and I'm like, kind of sounds like me. And then it was me. I got an award there, and I'm like, what?
You got a huge award, an international award. It was amazing.
Yeah, oh no, it's way over there. My brain was like, what? And I even she said, it's you, Michelle. I looked behind me like, what?
Who?
Yeah. It was so wild, but thank you. That was a surprise. And
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Shellie was sneaky because she said, Michelle, you just come out here. I think you really enjoy it. She didn't say, come out here, you're going to get an award. Good thing I was wearing a decent dress.
You're always wearing a decent dress. Always. You always
I know,
are
because I
dressed
get them
in
off of you. No, just that's another story.
Wait. Well, you got to tell your audience this.
Okay.
Hey, where do you shop, Michelle Mras?
Yeah, it's Poshmark. No, I shop off of Dr. Shellie. You see, I am 5 foot. Dr. Shellie is far taller than 5 foot. So dresses on her look completely different on me, but we're the same size.
We are indeed.
And she has amazing taste in clothes. We have the
Thank
same
you, darling.
taste. If I just had the same size foot, life would be perfect. But no, that's what I do. I see Dr. Shellie at events, and I'll do dress, mine.
And it works because it looks like totally different, and it works. And I have passed off many a dress. It's been a beautiful friendship and shopping arrangement. Because I do have my Poshmark store, but you get it before they even go on sale.
I don't even let it get to Poshmark. It does not go there.
No, she's got her own private shopping experience.
It's like, hey, Dr. Shellie, what event are you going to? Hey, what are you wearing? Looks good. They teased me at the last Ultimate Speaker. I went there as a judge, and they teased me, and they said, are you wearing a Dr. Shellie today? No.
I love it.
No, sometimes I buy my own clothes.
Exactly. It's all good, girl.
But it's awesome because people say, what are you wearing? I do. Honestly, you need to go to Poshmark because there's some amazing clothes there and high end. And you're really gentle on your clothes. I thank you for that.
Thank you. This is just too much. But when it comes to moms and it comes to women, and that's that whole ball gowns to yoga pants thing, we love, both sides of the woman, the fancy dressed up version, and also the running to the gym or running around with the kids, making business calls on your phone in your yoga pants. Women are all things for all people, which can get exhausting. And I think that we need to, rest when we need to and connect when we need to with the right people so that we can make those true sisterhood connections.
And dream together.
Yes.
Because we would not have sang in New York together if I had not shared that with you as we were walking through Disney Park.
Yes, it's true. It's true. I'm so glad that you did. And, I love to help make those dreams happen. And so I'm always like, what's going on in your head? What do you want? How are we going to get there? Let's make this manifest. So it's very exciting. I'm surrounded by list after list and what do you think it says on it?
I have no idea.
It says a bazillion times, I'm a New York Times bestseller. I'm a New York Times bestseller.
Oh!
I'm a New York Times bestseller. And I'm going to keep doing it until I manifest this. It might not be this book. I pray that it's this book. But if it's not this book, it's going to be another one in my future. I know that. You have to believe it. You have to believe it, conceive it, and manifest it. You have to put it out there in the world.
And as what we put it out in the world, and then you walk into it. You
Yes.
basically live as it already has happened, and it comes to you. And that's that manifestation. I've been doing it a lot lately. I mean, like crazy.
Isn't it exciting?
It's exciting and awesome. I mean, I went to Miami and I went, you know what? Here I am in a hotel, and I haven't even gone on a boat yet. I said something like that, like at least get on a yacht. And that afternoon, someone calls me and says, "Hey," JR calls me. He says, "Hey, you want to go on a yacht ride?" I went, "Yeah." He says, "It's in an hour. Let's go." And I have a flight in 4 hours. He says, "Move your flight." I moved it. I went on a yacht. And it was like, it's been popping very fast. So that's the other thing about manifestation and bringing your dreams to light. When you believe it and it starts happening, don't stop it. Don't say, "How is this happening?" Just keep going. And Dr. Shellie and I are like supercharged manifestors. And it's because she does things like that. She writes it down. With me, I put it all on my board. I'm a visual person, so I see it all on my board, and that's
I do that too. And I'm like really into this, like I'm into the power of 3 right now. So I did 33 times, 3 times of writing it down, and then I've got the 3 white candles right behind me.
Oh, everything at 3. That's funny. Hey,
I didn't think I was going to talk about that, but
make it happen.
Make it happen. I'm going to just keep putting it out there until it happens, because it will, that's how we make our dreams happen.
Yeah. Well, with me and my boot camp, I was terrified to do that. Cause like who wants to have an executive speaking arrangement with a group of people? They're going to want that one-on-one. So in my mind, it's always one-on-one. And then, I did that first one and 7 people showed up. And now I signed up. I announced this one and I thought no one's going to show up. That inner critic in me is like, who's going to show up for this?
Yep.
My class is full.
That's awesome.
I think I have 3 more spots that I can fill. And if I fill it, I'm going to have to adjust my days because I have more people than I anticipated. That's
awesome. Well, and you should talk to some of the women in Empower You, because I know that they have that on their because I know everybody's vision boards. I know everybody's secrets.
Oh, come on one of the calls and let them know. Make sure I get on one of those calls. Remind me, because I forget.
I will do that. Absolutely.
The opportunity is huge. And then at the boot camp, I keep calling it a boot camp, but it's just a camp. It's not a boot camp. It's just, I'm kind of a tough coach. I'm a pusher. I'll make sure you get where
you're also a sweetheart. So
yeah, I do it out of love, just like you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make you look at what you don't want to look at, because that's where you need to go. But I'm doing speaker sheets, the one sheets, and videos so that they can use it on social media and then give them out to whoever their perspective, where they want to get hired, because people don't hire speakers unless they hear their voices. They have to see you and hear you to hire you. Yes. And so getting them out there, helping them build their podcast. There's a lot going on in that crazy camp that I'm doing, because I want to make sure everyone there gets what I didn't have when I started.
Yes, absolutely.
And equip them so they can go. I'm doing a Dr. Shellie. Equip them for what they need so they can go be the best them.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that that's a me. I think it's also Michelle Mras, Dr. Michelle Mras. And I appreciate you saying that that's a me thing, because
you think?
Well, I love watching particularly with me, love watching women's dreams come true. And sometimes, like, when they come to me, like, they don't even have any idea that that's going to be the dream. They have no idea.
I love it. I love it when they do.
We just pull it out of them.
I love that. That's possible. If you
it absolutely is.
You can make it happen. Yes.
Totally. Now,
and dream, mom magic, magic, bestseller.
Yes.
Amazon.
No, we've got Amazon. We're already bestsellers on Amazon. We've got that. We nailed it. We want the New York Times bestseller. The
only way to get that is you just keep being. you got to get those
number
numbers.
one, numbers. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
And the
we
one that
need
counts is Amazon.
more and more people. Yeah. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, all the places that you can buy books. We need people buying this book.
It's a pink book. It says Mom Magic. Look at it.
Mompreneur. Mom Magic Mompreneur.
Yeah, but Mom Magic is the big one.
Yep. And then it's Mompreneur. Yep.
Okay. Can you show us the side of the book so we can see it in the bookshelf? Okay. Oh, it's skinny.
It's skinny. So
Okay.
for busy moms.
That
and
one
then on the back, it's got the ladies, all the moms, mompreneurs.
A lot of people are visual, so I want to make sure they see that
Yes.
cover. Mom Magic is what they're going to see.
There's this mommy with fairy wings. So the magic, a little briefcase, and the little kiddo.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love it. And in the back, it says Mom Magic can change the world. And that's what we are doing. We are changing the world. One story at a time.
Yeah, what's that song? Women are doing it for themselves.
Oh, yeah. Annie Lennox.
Because that's what Mom Magic is about.
Yes.
It's taking the power and creating the world that we want.
Yes. And we can. We
Yeah.
absolutely can. We have the ability. We have the technology now. We have the connections. We just have to do it. And, I interviewed John Assaraf, who wrote A Part of the Secret.
Mhm.
And I asked him, what was missing from the law of attraction in The Secret. I'm sure I've told you this before, but I haven't told your audience this, I don't think. So what he said was what was missing from The Secret, that pulling in those amazing experiences and using the law of attraction, was that word action in attraction. You have to take action. You have to take positive moves towards your goals. So I couldn't have just sat around and thought, I'm going to be a New York Times bestseller, and not written the 14 books and then done the campaigns and tried, a billion different ways. I had to take positive action and do all the shows like Mental Shift and the Tucson Morning Blend show that I did this morning, and Pittsburgh Today Live, and all the shows that I'm doing to spread the good word.
Well, remember, this show has been picked up by Zandra TV out of Dallas.
Love that.
It will be streaming. So it doesn't matter when you hear of this. If you're watching this on Zandra, Mom Magic.
Mom Magic Mompreneur.
You can stay on the number one list forever. Just
forever and ever. I love it. Let's do it.
So, Dr. Shellie, we have 3 minutes left.
Yes.
What would you like to share with the audience beside go out there and buy Mom Magic?
Right. Because you know what, for me, it's not just about the numbers and people buying things. For me, it's knowing that they can tap into their own magic, that they can manifest whatever they want to for themselves, for their families, for their homes, for their businesses. And they can just look into their heart and say, what do I want? What don't I want? And then go for it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing stopping you but yourself. There really isn't. You could say, I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. You can find a way. And if you need help, find a coach, find a mentor, find a friend, find another mompreneur, find someone to help you talk it through, write it down, make it a reality, make it clear, and then manifest it.
Back to life, back
to reality.
However you want it. Well, that's the thing. And that's one of the magic things that I found with you was I was like, I'm good. Everything's fine. And I said a few things out and went, I didn't even think that was coming out of me. And here it is. Everything that I wanted came out, and it's coming out faster. And it's the simple thing of having someone else hear you and really hear you, not judge you, not give you all sorts of advice, just to listen to it come out of you. And that's what the catalyst was with you. So thank you so much, Dr. Shellie, for being my friend and my sister from another mister.
I love it.
For joining me on Mental Shift to share your Mom Magic Mompreneur book, and best of hard work and dedication and manifestation of being the next New York Times bestseller. We'll see you on a billboard somewhere. And I'm really appreciative of having you in my world. And we need to sing again. Sometime.
We do. I'm so grateful for your friendship and our connection and just mental shift. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on.
Thank you so much for joining me. And everyone, if you're watching this and you just had some fun, share the stream, share the replay, and we'll see you again next week on Mental Shift. My name is Dr. Michelle Mras. That's Dr. Shellie. And go get the book. You'll get it for gifts. It's the perfect time of year. It is.
Great.
Okay, take care, everybody, and good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.